Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. This is Cliff with Hamilton Transportation. Today we're heavy hauling. So we are picking up this Cat 325 from the Port of Baltimore, and we are hauling it about 550 miles down to Knoxville, Tennessee. So it'll be mountains, should be a fun ride. So let's go. Hey guys, well, we just checked in, or just got through the gate down here at the Port of Baltimore. I'm headed back to building 502B today. 502B is right beside Mid-Atlantic. Mid-Atlantic is where I pick up most of the time, but sometimes I get a little, get a place that's a little different. So this is just it's like an overflow lot for Mid-Atlantic Terminal. So we got to head back here and I'll get checked in. I am picking up a Cat 325 today. And I'm taking that down to Knoxville, Tennessee. So leaving here, because the Francis Scott Key Bridge is still down, we will head 695 around the Beltway around Baltimore. And then we will hit 70, and we'll run 70 all the way over to 81, and then it's just 81 all the way down through Virginia into Tennessee to Knoxville. So, and you could go, you could stick with 695 all the way around, and then run 95 down to 495, and then hit 66 west. So I was looking at that last night on Google Maps, and it seems like it would be a lot shorter, but it only shaves like 5 miles off of your run. And I would rather do the 5 miles than deal with DC. So, yeah, I'll just head across 70 and hit 81. Nice, easy day. So, we are not going to make it all the way there today. Sundown, turn into a pumpkin with oversized stuff. So, I don't know how far we will get. I doubt we will make it to Tennessee. It might be like Withville, or it might even be like Staunton. I don't know. We'll just have to see how long this takes and how much of the day is left when we get out of here. So a Cat 325 is 10.5 feet wide and weighs about 60,000 pounds. So my truck and trailer empty are about 46,000 full of fuel. So add 60,000 to that, and puts us about 107,000 pounds running down through. We will permit heavier than that. We'll probably permit for probably 108, I would think, just to give us a little wiggle room. The thing about Virginia is it doesn't cost you any more to pull extra weight on your permit to give yourself that little bit of wiggle room. So that's usually what we do, just to be on the safe side. I see some Cat excavators there. That's probably what I'm getting, one of those. Not quite 8. I don't know what time 502B starts down here. Probably 8 o'clock, I would imagine. See how many trucks are already stacked up back here. A lot of their freight is step deck stuff, like all this little stuff, these little excavators and loaders and stuff, they'll run on step decks. And they load from ramps, like loading docks. So they usually don't get in the way of what what I'm doing. So they usually load RGN freight at another spot, but hell, it looks like I'm the only one here. Now hopefully that's not because they don't open until like 9 or something. I know the only time I've picked up here a couple times, but I never, you know, got up super early to get down here and get loaded because it was always summertime. I didn't really have to worry about it. But now that it's winter, you got to think about hours you can run. All right, I'm gonna get suited up with my my high vis and everything, and then I will go get checked in, and then we will see. Hopefully they check me in, and then we'll see where they send me to get this thing loaded up. All right, so far so good. So it's picking up same place I picked up before. They have like a little workshop up that way. So just up there around the building. And then they bring it to you and load it up. Once you get it chained down, then you come back over here to that little building where I just checked in, and they will give you your gate pass, and then you're good to go. I thought I would have to wait in line this morning, but they were pretty quick. Wasn't even a line. So that's the little workshop he was talking about. Well, you guys didn't hear him, but that's the little workshop that we're driving past now. So now we'll go around here, and then we break down on the other side of that, facing the garage. There you go. There's a bunch of cat stuff, all lined up, brand new, looking pretty. Probably getting one of those. Oh, they got a bunch of them. Just try not to hit anything. Alright, so now this is where they want you to break down. Straightened up. And maybe we'll back up a little. Alright, so let's go get chains out and get the trailer dropped, and then when they bring it out they can just run it right up on and we'll be good to go. Alright, so if it's windy out here, if it affects the video, I apologize. I do have my little windsock on, so hopefully that helps somewhat. But we're gonna go get the trailer broken down. Alright, so this is an excavator. Oh.
Looky there. I lost this last week, or I thought I lost it. It must have fallen out of my pocket while I was working. It was actually laying in some chains there in the well. It just rode there the whole way home from Connecticut last week. But that's good. Found my key. I thought I was gonna have to order another one from Kenworth. So anyway, with an excavator, we'll have to chain the boom. So I'll get my 3/8 chain out. And then I usually put a binder from each track to the side of the trailer. And then I'll put a chain. Do I want my longer chains? I think I'll actually use my longer chains back here. So I carry 6 10-foot half-inch chains. And then I also have 4 15-foot half-inch chains. And you'll see why I use those longer ones. Let me chain this thing down. Other thing with cat excavators, the tie down points that they provide on the back of the excavator, little loops, are not big enough to get a hook through, but they are too big to get a grab hook through, but they are too big to get a slip hook through. So little things like that you kind of learn as you go. So you have to use shackles. That's why I got those shackles out. I'll put that for the boom, and then I also need to get out this is to protect the paint on the boom when we put a chain across it. And we also need a couple of those because we'll be crossing our chains as well. So on the front, we'll cross the chains back here. On the front, I'll probably just go all 4 chains to the tracks, or a binder to the track, and then chains to the tracks as well. So I won't need my longer one. You guys will see all that when I'm chaining it down. So whenever it takes me a little while to bring something out or have a little free time, I like to do a little binder maintenance, which is just spraying some WD-40 on them. Do you need paperwork?
The guy that's coming around your unit.
Oh, okay.
Just to check the serial number.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, so they brought it out here real quick. So this is what we're getting. Cat 325. So let's get this thing loaded up. I'm just gonna do a quick walk around on it, just to make sure there's no damage. Everything looks good.
90 around Purple Power Hour brought to you by Fulton Banks. Empower Community Banking Program returns.
This guy's got the radio blasting.
6 p.m. Kirk, Mary M.
Where's the radio?
Just a couple of Super Bowl champions.
There we go. All right. I don't know why he has the air on too. Okay. we got that taken care of. So put this in. All right. Thought I could turn that beeping off. It doesn't seem to want to go off. All right. Now, if you just line it up with the boards on the trailer, you can usually get it pretty straight. I like to run it with the with this curled. If it had a bucket, that would be all the way curled, and it sits a little lower on the trailer that way. All right, and I think that will do it. So I'll go ahead and shut it off, and then I can get the truck hooked back up to it. I did confirm the serial number, so we know that's right. All right, so let's see. Are we straight? Boy, it doesn't get much straighter, I'll tell you that. All right, so let's get the truck hooked back up, and then we can get on with chaining this thing. So, now that we've got the thing loaded up, first thing I'm going to do is put air to the trailer, get it aired up, and then I'm going to put air from the truck. So right now I have my suspension dumped, so I was working with the trailer. So I'm going to go ahead and put air back to the suspension, idle the engine up a little bit, and we'll put air to the trailer. That's the truck suspension. And then we'll idle this up and let it build up air pressure. Because I have, there's a gauge in the truck and there's a gauge on the trailer to tell me what kind of air pressure is in the suspension. And based on that number, I know pretty much how much weight is on each axle. So I'll let that build up. While it's doing that, we will confirm the width, which should be 10 feet 6 inches. I always put a tape across it just to make sure, because sometimes some of this stuff can be a little oddball. They have different size tracks on it or whatever. But yeah, this one is, it's really 10.5, but we will permit at 10.6. So now that we've got that, we can go ahead and chain this bad boy down. So on the front here, we will go a ratchet binder to the track, and then I'll put a chain up here on the top part of the track, going back to right here on the trailer. And we'll do that on both sides. All right, so that's the front, 4 chains, and now we'll come back to the back. I'll get the back chain down. So the back we're going to do a little bit differently. The back we'll do the same thing. We'll do a binder from the track to the side of the trailer. But then back here we're going to go from that tie down point in the middle. I'll have to put a shackle on there, hook my big hook to the shackle, and then we'll come out and we'll go to this D-ring. Their tie-down point in there, you can see how big it is, how wide it is from the outside of that ring to the hole in the middle. It just makes it impossible to get a hook on there. I don't think a hook will go in there. I haven't tried it in a while. I'll try it again. Oh, make a liar out of me. Well, I'll tell you what. Last time I did that, it would not fit. But if it's gonna fit, then I'm not using these shackles, because it'll make it a whole lot easier to do it that way. There, that's much easier. Now, hopefully, we can get that hook out when we get to the other end. That will be the deciding factor on whether I do it this way. So now we have the front and the back done. So anything that has an attachment, like a boom, like this has, the boom also has to be chained down. So I'm going to run a chain probably right across here and secure it to the trailer. Now, because this is a new machine and I don't want to scratch the pretty new paint any more than we absolutely have to, I always put a couple pieces of rubber, and then I just have a strap that I've cut and folded up, old strap that I just torn or whatever, and I also put that under the chain. And I have found that keeps the boom from getting scratched up from chaining. On older equipment, you don't really have to worry about this because they're usually scratched up pretty good already. Nobody cares. But on a new piece, I always try to protect the paint. Now, last thing, as far as chaining goes, we have a bunch of excess chain there. So, what I like to do is I will grab a bungee and I'll take all this excess right through that D-ring. Right back. And then I'll hook it to itself. And then I'll just put a little tension on it. And that way that hook won't come off and that chain will ride right there. That means it is secured. Let's go get our weights. So my wife Jen does dispatch for me. So she handles pulling all the permits, booking loads, and that kind of thing. So what I usually do is I usually get it chained down, and then we'll check the weight. So this one is at 68 psi on the Tridem. So I'm just gonna text that to her. She's at the dentist office this morning. My son has a dentist appointment. So the joys of owning your own business. So we're just gonna text her Tridem at 68 psi. And then we'll go look in the cab at this gauge. You can see that one is at 71. So put tandem at 71 psi. And hopefully she'll get that and be able to pull the permits with that. Okay. Oh, I should also text her that it's 10.6 wide. Alright, so are we done yet? No, we're not. We still have to put a cover on the exhaust. Most equipment companies require you to cover the exhaust. The theory being that if air gets into the exhaust, it can spin the turbo, and without it being lubricated, it can ruin it. Hey, I don't buy it, but if Cat wants it done on their $250,000 excavator, then who am I to not do it? So we got the exhaust covered. Now I have to put banners front and back, oversized load banners. I have to put flags at the four corners of the truck and trailer because we will be going through West Virginia, and that requires flags at the four corners. And then we have to put flags at the widest points of the load, which will just be on the edge of those tracks there. And that's required by every state pretty much. So I won't make you guys watch me do that, but I'll go do that and then we'll finish up. All right, guys, we got this thing all loaded up. So you can see I got my banner up, flags, got all our chains on. like the corners. Got my exhaust cover up there. So we are about ready to roll. So let's head out.
Hey everyone. So it is 5:18. We made it down here to Wytheville, Virginia today, which is honestly a little bit further than I thought we would get. I figured we'd be at the port until 10 or 11 o'clock this morning. We actually got out of there before. I think it was like 9 o'clock that we left. So we ran hard all day and got farther than I thought we would. Got fuel today, and we're still like 180 miles from delivery in the morning. We had a little bit of a problem with Tennessee today. So apparently our insurance, it's not expired, but in their system it was expired because we hadn't updated after we renewed in July. So we couldn't pull a permit for Tennessee this morning. So we submitted our updated insurance, but they said it could take up to 24 hours to process that. So we were kind of sitting there all day waiting for them to get that processed. Eventually Jen called and she just played dumb and said, hey, I sent you this paperwork this morning, but I'm not sure if I sent you the right thing. So then the lady that she was talking to was like, oh, well, let me go look at it. Oh yeah, it all looks good. Let me get this processed for you. So then they processed it right away. We were able to pull our permit. So we actually got our Tennessee permit, which is good. So we're good to go for in the morning. Unfortunately, that's just Virginia's actual sunset, which I think is like right now. I think sunset here. See if my watch says. Yeah, my watch is still showing for Pennsylvania, but I think Jen said it was like 5:19. So we are right at sunset, and we're done for the day. So I have a little time to kill. I'm going to try to get a video edited. I have my laptop with me, and then we will hit it in the morning right at sunrise and get this excavator delivered. We don't have a load yet for tomorrow. We've been watching the board all day, and there have been a couple loads that we called on that were a couple hundred miles away, but they didn't work out. So hopefully something posts in the morning. I don't know what we'll do if nothing posts. Maybe I'll head over towards Charlotte, like North Carolina, kind of that area tomorrow if nothing posts, and we'll just hope for something going back north. I don't know. So we'll just have to see what happens tomorrow. But for tonight, I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to relax tonight, and I will see you guys in the morning. said, load and unload is located behind the facility, so imagine it's back here. Machine loading and unloading. There's a sign. Machine unloading here. Now, I wonder if they want me to pull. Alright, I guess I'll go find somebody, see if we can get unloaded.
Alright guys, they said to drop it here. So, let's get this thing unchained and off the trailer. Yeah.
Don't drop it out there. They're not going to unload it on that pavement. You see that concrete? You'll back up to where you
Okay.
got room.
Yeah, I was just trying to be out of the way of everybody else.
But I'm just trying to tell you, if you
Yeah,
unhook
okay.
right here, you're going to make it hook back up.
Okay.
Don't just
Yeah, I'll back
drop it
up.
back here, so
All right.
or get on fire. Or something.
All right. So he was saying if I drop it up there on the nice concrete, they'll make me hook back up. So drop it back here. So I think I'm gonna try to talk to somebody that works here and see if I'm good to drop here. Hey, how you doing? I'm dropping that 325. Am I good there?
If you don't care, will you back up just a little bit more?
Yeah, I can back up some more.
Right there where you're at, there's that edge of the asphalt concrete.
Yeah, I'm this side of the edge.
Yeah, if you'll just give it.
Yeah, I can back up some
just
more.
a little bit more.
Another like 5 feet or so?
Yeah, I'd say that'd be
Okay, all right. All right, so I spoke to somebody. Apparently you're supposed to go in a little building. I didn't see any signs or anything. So I talked to somebody, they had me back up a little bit more. So I think we're good now. Unchained, now we gotta get unhooked. Now, usually at cat facilities, they want to be the ones to unload it. So I'm going to pull away from the trailer here, and then walk back over and see if they want me to take it off or if they want to come out and do it. success. We got that Cat 325 delivered. They have it sitting over there fueling right now. So from here, I am dropping down to Chattanooga, Tennessee, and you guys stay tuned for that one. That one should be pretty interesting. But for now, thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. Share this video with a friend if you like it, if you think they'll like it. Love to keep growing the channel, so keep leaving comments. Really appreciate it. I try to answer all of them. So from Knoxville, Tennessee, this is Cliff with Hamilton Transportation. I'll see you guys out there on the road.